So come on over to sit. You can even sit in your chair if you'd like. I'm going to choose lightning bolt pose just because I enjoy it. Lightning bolt is one of the poses that we will explore in depth here for a prevention and a treatment. This is one that you can do many of our prevention moves in. You can also sit with a straight spine in the chair. You can sit on your blanket or bring it in between your heels and hips for comfort. But really just find a position that you can hold for a long, straight spine that you can hold here for a little bit of time. And the number one thing that I have found in my research that can help to prevent and cure many of the things that go wrong with that upper abdomen and that feeling of fullness and tightness and bloating that can happen with indigestion is to, in the morning on an empty stomach, to take a few moments and do what we call breath of fire and then Agnisar Kriya. And so that's what we're going to practice here today in a very gentle and easy way, because these things are very heating and they're very changing for the body. But really, a lot of what happens in our digestion is that our diaphragm gets weak and our esophagus gets weak. And then we have the acid reflux or the bloating or that fiery feeling, or even hiatal hernias, which is something that this also helps with. And so breath of fire, we're going to take just about 3 rounds of 10 as a very beginner introduction to this breath of fire. If you're familiar with breath of fire, feel free to go at your pace when we're trying this. But we're going to take this very easily. And I actually want you to bring your hands to the bottom of your rib cage. And that's where our diaphragm lives. And just take a few deep breaths there and feel the movement of the bottom of your rib cage and that diaphragm moving as you inhale and exhale. And try to feel that movement going out and in as well as up and down. Really full into the belly and take just a few more deep breaths there. Feel the movement, get used to that. And breath of fire is compared to panting like a dog. It is this forceful exhale where you can feel the body and the belly contract. And this is really strengthening and healing for the diaphragm and for the bottom of the gut or the top of the gut and that feeling. So hands can stay at your rib cage. And we're going to take about 10 rounds of breath of fire in and out of the mouth, just so that you can feel that panting feeling. And it's a feeling of the belly coming in and up as you exhale. And try to localize it there at the bottom of the rib cage. Keep practicing as I'm talking. And have that feeling that it's just the rib cage moving and that you're not jumping around into your hips and shoulders as well. Take 3 more. And relax the arms and resume normal breath here, full and easy. It's not only a cleansing breath, but it really is a muscular feeling that we're going for here. This can, when you do it at a quicker pace, you can get a stitch in your side, like you're running. So we'll take it again, this time in and out through the nose. Hands can come back to the rib cage and to the diaphragm, and so that you can feel that in and up feeling of the belly button pulling in and the rib cage pulling in and up to expel that air at the bottom of the ribs. So in and out through the nose now, about 10 times. Inhale deeply. It's a much different energy coming out of the mouth. It's more controlled. So really feel that in and up feeling. Take 3 more. And relax the arms, relax the breathing, take a few breaths. And we'll take one more round here of about 10 or so breaths of fire. And really feel a quicker movement here. So hands back to your ribs. Inhale deeply. Take it a little quicker. And then relax the breathing. As you work your way into a breath of fire, you can do that continuously without breaks for up to 3 minutes as you're beginning, even as long as 30 minutes if you really enjoy that breath of fire. And we're going to move now immediately into the next couple of minutes of your morning routine, which is Agnisar Kriya. And Agnisar Kriya is very muscular in the abdomen, in which it's all about just contracting into the gut. I'm actually going to move a little bit closer here so that you can see the movement of the gut. And so you can bring your hands now to your belly button area. And Agnisar Kriya is this churning, and we'll take it 3 rounds of 10 again, just so that you can feel the beginning stages of those muscular contractions. You can act, even in these 3 rounds of 10, you might feel quite a bit of heat release, and that's really normal. That's really why we want to take it slow, so that your body can get used to this increased energy there at the gut. So hands can be on your belly, and then it's a muscular pulling in and up of the abdominal muscles now, not just at the diaphragm, but trying to get into the whole abdominal area. And you can pair it with breath of fire, or just try to do it without. So I'll come up again. And then release and breathe normally. Let your hands relax. We'll take 2 more rounds there. So I actually said do it with breath of fire. You don't want to do it with breath of fire. You want to inhale and hold the breath in, and then pump the stomach about 10 times. And exhale, breathe normally, nice and easy. This is another one that you can build up to 3 minutes or so. And this next round, we're going to actually practice the stomach churning with the breath held in, and then with the breath held out. So we're going to take 10 rounds with the breath held in, and 10 rounds with the breath held out. Hands back to your belly. Take a nice deep inhale. Hold the breath in and pump your stomach. Exhale all of the air out, relax the gut. Hold the breath out and pump the stomach. And resume normal breath. Let your eyes close and just feel that energy that happens just that quickly with these powerful gut moves. And if you're sitting on your legs, go ahead and stretch them out, get a little blood flow going again. And you can sit, again, you can sit in the chair if you'd like, or sit up on your blanket for comfort, and come on into easy pose. If easy pose doesn't work, you can come back to kneeling. Reach your hands out to your sides And just sit with a tall, straight spine. So that first exercise that we did, that's really something that you do in the morning as prevention and healing of these ailments that can happen in that upper gut and feel. And now we're going to take a little bit more. You can do these to prevent and also to help cure if you're in some crisis situation with acid reflux. So hands can reach out to your lap or to your knees, sitting tall. And with the breath, take a deep inhale, a slow exhale. And then as you inhale, start to churn toward the leg that's in front, whichever way that happened for you. And exhale, come back. And follow the belly button here. I'll teach this as a spinal exercise often, but right now we're going for this feeling of churning into the stomach. So really feel your belly button lead this one. Support yourself with your arms. Inhaling as you go forward, exhaling as you pull back. Follow the breath, take a few more. And back to center, stretch your legs out, take a few breaths in stillness. Notice the activity at your gut. And pull your legs back in, opposite leg in front, hands back to your knees. And slowly start to churn the belly going the other way, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Again, this is something you can do in the morning on an empty stomach to keep all of the food moving from yesterday and to just start off with this nice healthy gut. And it's something that you can do at night if you're experiencing symptoms of discomfort. This can really help to relieve that. 2 more slow breaths. Back to center, stretch your legs out and take a few breaths. Left leg will hug in. Sorry, let's bring right leg in. Right leg in, and you can keep the foot on the outside of the foot or the knee or the inside, crossing over. I said that opposite. You can stay on the inside of the knee or crossing over. Wherever you land, make sure your right foot is completely pressing into the earth. And then interlace your hands around the right knee and sit up very, very tall so that your gut is straight. Your spine will be straight too, but sit in a way that your gut is straight. And from your sit bones, from your hips, start to twist to the right. The left hand can hug or hook around the right knee, right hand back behind you, and stay with a tall belly. And here you're going to breathe space and wonder into your liver, your ascending colon. Liver is such a big part of our detox factor. It takes a hit when helping us to digest the things that might not be so good for us. So take these slow, deep breaths here. And as you exhale, feel as though you're wringing yourself out. And this again can create a lot of heat through the gut, up into the chest, up into the face. You might feel this big rush of heat. Just breathe through it. Take a few more. Inhale space into your gut. Exhale, wring yourself out. Unfurl yourself back to center. Stretch the right leg out. Take a breath. Tall spine, tall belly. And left leg comes in, foot to the earth, either on the inside of the knee or the outside, whatever feels best to you. Make sure your sit bones, the bottom of that foot is still there. Sit with a tall belly, and as you exhale, start to twist to the left. And you can hook your arm or hug the leg, whatever feels best. Inhale deeply into your left side now, your stomach, your pancreas, your heart. Exhale, twist. Really visualize that space that you're bringing into your gut with your breath. Exhale, twist it out just a little more. And back to center. Stretch your leg out. Sit with a tall spine for a few breaths. Legs pull in, soles of the feet together, and you can pull them as close to your groin as you'd like. Be comfortable here, though. You can have them much further out if that feels better to you. Reach for your shins or your ankles. Notice your tall spine and long stomach, that you're not slumping into the gut. Positioning is so important for digestion. And we'll be here with a butterfly flaps. And I want you to really concentrate here. This is great for your hips and inner thighs, yes. But we're going for this little reverberation feeling in the bottom of the gut. And this is another great one to do, empty stomach first thing in the morning, to really help eliminate everything that we need to eliminate from our yesterdays. And it's also good to do at night, nice and gently, to help to relieve any bloating or gas discomfort you might have. So just butterfly flap here. Let your eyes close and feel that reverberation in the bottom of your gut. Slow, easy breaths. And let yourself relax. Send your legs out long again. Give a little shimmy shake. And at this point, I'm going to invite you now to your chair, to your radiator, to your ottoman, whatever it is that you can sit up straight on. And we'll move here in, again, good anytime, good in the morning to help tone up everything, good in the evening to help to digest everything. And really, this is meant for after you've eaten, when you don't want to be on your hands and knees or even on the ground. Maybe you're feeling really, really full. So, but after you've eaten in the morning, whatever it feels right to you, come to sit nice and tall. And notice the tall stomach again as you sit. Don't lean against the chair and bring that slumping feeling in, but sit in this very yoga position with hips and knees in line, and then knees and ankles in line, hands to your thighs. Big belly breaths, just noticing the posture again. And then we'll move into seated cat-cow and move with your breath and move with your spine. Have a feeling that your tailbone is going back as the belly and heart come forward. Pull yourself into cow pose, shoulder blades back and down. Feel the stretch through the front of the gut into the throat. And exhale, pull the belly button toward the spine, curl the tailbone under and curl the chin under, and feel that little massage you're giving to your gut. And inhale, slowly moving back toward cow pose. Excuse me. Lift the heart, stretch through the front of the gut. Exhale, curl and round. Give yourself a belly massage. Excuse me again. We'll take about 10 rounds of this. Really get in touch with the front of your gut as you open up. Exhale, go inward and feel that massage. And just flow here with your breath. Three more. Bring in all of that space. And then all of that compression. Last two. And come back up to a tall, lifted spine. Relax your shoulders. Take a few breaths. And we're going to come on off of the chair again. Can move it out of your way and come on down to a kneeling pose. And we're going to do a few here that are taken with caution anytime. If you feel too full to do these, then you don't. And we're going to move first into puppy pose. And puppy pose is good for anything, any of these digestive problems that ail you. If it is an inflammation or acid reflux or GERD that you have, puppy pose is nice to pause in as a little stretch. But it's not somewhere where you want to rest. If you're feeling all acidic, it'll just start to, gravity will start to work and that acid will start to come upward. So you might want to stretch there for a breath or two, but it's not something that you want to hold. Now, if you are bloated or gassy, you do want to hold there. It can help to literally tip you upside down and get some space there to help you release. So coming up, and just keep your blanket next to you for our next resting pose. Puppy pose is, I'm going to show two versions here, one on the ground and then one at the wall. The one at the wall can be just as nice of a stretch. So knees and hips stay in line with each other, and then you reach the arms forward. And you can stay right here with the hips over the knees. If it's okay for your chest, if it's okay for your shoulders, you can start to bring the forehead or the chin down to the earth. And then you can feel that big stretch through the front of the belly and all of that space that you're creating. And we'll just pause here for about 10 slow rounds of breath. Feel free to adjust as you're here, going deeper into the pose or coming out of it a little as we breathe here for slow, easy breath. Concentrate on bringing in space with the inhale and relax with the exhale. Slowly roll up. Coming back to tabletop. And then sit back and down to your heels. Take a breath. And then we're going to come to stand for our second version of puppy pose. And you're going to find a wall to be against. And you'll face the wall. So I'll just come to this one and watch out for my bowls here. You're going to reach forward and up onto the wall. And as you do that, your feet are going to walk back. And you can see here that this is that same little chest and shoulder stretch and front of the gut stretch. Now, to keep it really comfortable, you can bend your knees and send that tailbone back long. Let your chest fall toward the wall. And just take a few breaths here and really try to inhale space into your belly. And exhale, stretch it out. Release. And slowly come up. Stand still for a moment. Let the blood return to your arms. And then come on over. You can come back to your chair here. I'm going to show two different versions now of a belly massage with the blanket. This first one in the chair, again, right at your desk, right at your dinner table, wherever you might have a chair and a blanket together. And you take a nice rolled up blanket. You can also use a beach towel or a pillow, and you're going to snug it right into the hips. And then you're going to roll over. And this really is done best on an empty stomach. If you're full, you can take this gently, but you might not want too much pressure if you're feeling too full. And here you can rest even on your palms or on the table or desk or into the elbows. And you want that feeling of contact with the blanket and the belly. If it's okay, you can even roll a little bit forward into a hanging child's pose. We'll take 10 slow, long, deep breaths here. And you're trying to puff the belly out toward the blanket on the inhale. And then release everything and sink into the blanket on the exhale. You should feel this in your gut, maybe even up into the bottom of the ribs and the diaphragm. If it's too intense, you can lessen the roll of the blanket. You really want that feeling that the belly is moving, is muscularly working here, opening up, pressing against the blanket on the inhale, and sinking in on the exhale. And slowly come up. If you're not super comfortable in child's pose, I'd recommend just going again on the chair and staying with this position and using the blanket in a way that you can really be comfortable. Otherwise, we're going to take that same exercise just in a different position in child's pose. So coming down, and same thing, you're going to snug the blanket into the top of the hips, and knees can come apart here. Sometimes that's a little bit, that can help you make a little bit more contact. And then you're lifting up with that straight spine and long belly and rolling yourself into the blanket, curling around. Now, even so, you can rest on your hands, on your forearms, or you can stretch forward if that's comfortable for you. And we'll take about 10 slow rounds of breath here. Inhale, press the belly into the blanket. Exhale, sink into the blanket, release, relax. Inhale, press the belly into the blanket. You might feel that heat release again. Exhale, sink into the blanket. Keep going. One more breath. Slowly come up. And one more here. So if you're on the chair, you'll come on over and join us on the ground. One more with this rolled blanket. You'll lay it onto your mat, and now you'll lay those hip points down right where we were hugging in before. Now you'll lay down on top of the blanket, and then you can bring your chest down to the ground. One cheek, turn it to the earth. And breathe deeply into your belly, slow, easy rounds. Same movement, that inhale, opening the belly to the blanket. And the exhale, release. One more deep breath. And slowly press back. You can stretch into a quick child's pose or roll into your shoulders, roll into your spine. And we'll come on down to our back. Keep your blanket handy. Lie down onto your back and then hug your knees to your chest. And this is Apanasana. This can be really wonderful if you are gassy or bloaty. Just positionally, this is a nice little compression. If you don't have contact here, thighs into belly, you can bring the rolled up blanket in and then hug in around it and get that compression and that massage. And then right leg will stay hugging in, left leg goes long on the earth. If that's uncomfortable, you can keep the left knee bent. And then just sit here in right-sided wind release pose. Blanket can stay in between the belly and the thigh. If it's too much contact, you can get rid of it. And inhale, puff the belly up toward the thigh. And exhale, pull the thigh toward the belly. And we'll take about 10 rounds here each side. So let your eyes close and your body relax and really just feel the benefits of following the breath in and out. Notice if you're really stiff in your ankles, let your ankles of both feet relax. Let your jaw relax. 5 more slow breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. Left knee pulls in. Right leg goes long. And same thing, wind release on the left side now. Inhale the belly up toward the thigh. Exhale the thigh toward the belly. Concentrate on your breathing. Relax your ankles and jaw. And take about 10 slow rounds. Stay with the breath 3 more rounds. And hug both knees into your chest. If you still have the blanket, just set it to the side. And roll here gently side to side. And then back to stillness. We'll move into right-sided wind release again. So left leg goes long. And from here, we'll move into a twist. So right leg is going to come up and over. Right hip can leave the earth, guiding it up and over the left side. If you're floating somewhere here in space, you can use your blanket to maybe prop you up. Otherwise, try to let that right leg fall to the earth. Stretch your arms out long into a T shape. Turn and look over the right shoulder, and slow deep breaths here as you wring out your organs, wring out your small and large intestine. Breathe space into your gut and into your kidneys. Try to have this big, full torso breath here. We'll take about 10 rounds in this twisted belly. This really does help to move food through the digestive tract just from the power of your breath and the positioning, the compression that's happening in your guts right now. Relax and breathe deeply. And roll back to center. Bring your arms to your sides. Bend into both knees and straighten and lengthen through your spine. Take a few breaths in a neutral spine, neutral gut. Big belly breath. And hug your left leg in. Send your right leg long. And then slowly lift up and over into your left-sided twist, either resting the leg on the ground or your block or your blanket. Arms out in a T shape. Turn and look over the left shoulder. And breathe deeply here into your guts. Really opening space even as you take it away. So take about 8 more rounds of breath here. Relax and enjoy. And slowly roll back to center. And come back to neutral spine, both knees bent, feet on the ground. Take a few breaths here. Hug your knees to your chest. One final pose here. Either stay in Apanasana or reach up for a happy baby pose. You can hold on to your thighs, hold on to your ankles, or if you're able to, you'll reach up and find the outside edges of your feet, and then roll here gently side to side. And take a few breaths. Gently release. And for our final rest here, for our Shavasana, I'm going to invite you over to lie on your left side. Our stomach is on our left side. So if you're ever in indigestive position, and I'm going to bring my blanket here in between my knees for comfort, and then curl my arms under my head for comfort. And so if you're ever feeling really distressed in your gut, your stomach is on your left side. So you just turn and lay on your left side and let everything relax there and let everything open and flow. And so we'll rest here for a few rounds. Make sure you feel comfortable. You can use your blanket as your pillow instead of your arms if you'd like. Knees, ankles, hips, all comfortable. And let yourself rest here. Let this really feel like a little Shavasana. You're just resting on your side. Slow and easy breath into your gut. Feel yourself supported as you rest. And let your body just digest all of the information you just gave it. Softening your eyes and releasing into the mat, into the earth. Long, slow, easy breaths. Start to deepen your breath. Slow belly breath. Sigh it out. And press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Keep your spine long and your belly open, hands at your heart. And just take this moment and be in gratitude for yourself, for seeing this class and spending the last hour learning these simple moves that can really take yourself out of distress and prevent further distress. And we'll end here with the sound of 3 ohms. You can join along or simply listen. Take a slow, deep inhale. Om. 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 Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourselves today. Namaste.